Hills?
Good, man. I mean, how do you think the week's gone for the Eagles?
Well, I think it was good in terms of, like you said it earlier this week. You got two great teams, battling it out at practice. I think that makes you better. It reminds me of, when I was at college, I used to always say Alabama's good because they practice versus guys that are better than half the SEC and half the rest of the college. So obviously not the same exact competition, but it's nice to see that the Eagles get to go up against another great team, get some different looks. You know what I mean? It's not the exact same players and everything. So I thought it was positive from that perspective. Offense had a couple tough spots in there, but that's all right. I mean, they're installing new offense. And I think we learned that A.J. Brown's probably going to have a big year if we didn't already think that. And defense got knocked back a little bit, but they had a good bounce back day on day 2. I thought all in all, a good, successful, positive weekend.
Yeah, I do too. Especially when you're talking about the things to be able to carry your football team, and that's the run game and the defense. I will say this though, Z. I don't see where the positives are in the passing game. You didn't have Devontae out there. You didn't have Mekhi Lemon out there. I mean, there were like 5 turnovers and all. I mean, how do you know what you have when you weren't able to practice with your main star? How would anybody know what the passing game is when the most critical pieces of your passing game weren't out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to do. It's tough to ask Jalen to do that too. You know what I mean? Hey, go and crush a joint practice throwing to Elijah Moore and Dontavian Wicks. I mean, come on. So that's a big part of it. But what else I think about too is forget the win in the practice. I mean, it's unfortunate that Jalen isn't able to practice with these guys in these moments leading up to the season. Forget the outcome of the practice. I mean, that doesn't matter. But Jalen's not getting the amount of work you would want him to get with them before. I think they'll be all right. I'm not saying it's like a big excuse, but it would be better, obviously, to have them out there and be able to practice with them. So, it is what it is. But you're right about it. When those guys aren't out there, it's going to be tough sledding.
Hey, will you help me out on something on what John said today? So is Moro Ojomo on the bench?
Well, I think John's coming from they only play base 25 to 30% of the time.
So when they start the game against the Commanders, Ojomo's on the bench?
Well, they'll probably start in base. If they don't start in base and they start in nickel.
So if they start in base, Ojomo's on the bench?
If they start in base, they have.
I just looked at the depth chart. They got him starting. I just looked.
No, wait. Is base? I'm mixing this up.
Base is the 5 front, isn't it?
Yeah, base is the front. It's the 5 front. Yeah. So Ojomo would be out there.
Yeah, I mean,
they play. Okay, so that's why John. My bad. I mixed it up. I said it backwards.
Okay. John
is saying he is a depth piece because when they're not in base, they're playing nickel, which is most of the time. Ojomo's probably going to be on the bench, I would think, with the exception of 3rd and long.
Okay, well, so they're going to take him off the bench.
Why the fuck are you looking at me like I'm like?
Wait, no. So what I'm saying, what you're saying to me is that they're going to take Moro Ojomo off the bench and keep Davis, the lesser pass rusher, out there. I'm looking at the Eagle team site right now. Dude,
why do you have to look at it like that? Can't you just say,
wait, I'm trying to get clarity.
3 great defensive tackles.
Wait,
2 of them are great at rushing the passer.
Is not
1 of them is great at stopping the run.
Moro Ojomo.
They got a versatile defensive front, Sileo.
Moro Ojomo is not depth.
See, no, but do you see how this guy he's like a freaking Ferris wheel. He puts it and spins it, man.
I went to the PhiladelphiaEagles.com/team/.
No, but the point is, who gives a shit about the depth chart? It should be more about they have great defensive tackles that can do everything.
Wait a second. That's your starters. That's not depth. I mean, there's a difference between the depth. Here's your starting.
Crack open my fruity
Nolan Smith is edge. Carter, Davis, and Ojomo are your 3 interior guys, and Hunt is the outside edge. That's your front 5. And your backups are Ebiketie, Brian Young, I'm just going off what the Eagles are saying. Ty Robinson, Gabe Hall, and AJ Epineza, whatever the kid's name is. That's all I'm just trying to figure out. Moro Ojomo, he's a starter, right? Oh, yeah.
He's a starter, sure. I mean, again, I'm going to go back to what I said. F the Sileo depth chart.
It's the Eagle depth chart.
No, I know, but F your interpretation of the depth chart.
F my interpretation of what depth is.
Because I don't think it's a negative. I think you're trying to make it like, oh, how is Moro?
I'm not I'm asking.
The reality is it's a great thing to have 3 great defensive tackles.
I'm not
Jalen Carter's good at everything. Moro is great at rushing the passer. And Jordan's great at stopping the run.
I'm not debating.
You got everything, dude.
I'm not debating that. I'm just getting clarity on who's starting. Who's on the bench?
I don't know. Get clear. I don't know. Ask John on that. Come on your show. And
so the website.
You afraid of McMullen? Get him on the show.
Philadelphia.
By the way, we need to add that segment. I know you and John don't want to do it. It would be a slam dunk for views every week on this channel. People love the Sileo McMullen debates.
Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojomo. Okay.
I'm going to have to put that into the works.
How about this one here? Are you concerned about Landon Dickerson?
Sileo goes mute.
I don't care what you do.
Sileo goes mute.
I'll go on. Dude, I'll go on with a chipmunk. I don't care.
What did you say? Landon Dickerson?
Yeah.
I got to see it in game. I'm not ready to sound the alarm, but I'm also not approaching it with a great sense of confidence, if that makes sense. All right. I think he's still a good player, but I'm more concerned of the style fit for Landon than anything, because he is a mauler. So if not only is he not mauling as well, but if you're now taking him and asking him to be more finesse, how does he go about that? That'll be interesting to see, but I'm not concerned yet. I wouldn't say I'm concerned. But I'm keeping my eye on it. How's that?
You think they're going to be able to run that stretch play?
Yeah. 4 or 5 offensive linemen are pretty.
With Landon?
Well, it depends. I mean, that's where Cooper's going to have to get creative. Where if you want to stretch to the left side, do you pull the center? You got to get creative with it, because I don't think creating plays where Landon's getting to the second level consistently is the right method. Cam can get to the second level and if he's healthy, but that's what I'd be looking for.
I think you're going to have to come up with some creative blocking schemes, because I don't think you can reach the entire 5 dudes. And I think Landon might be a problem in that. All right. So what are you looking for on Saturday?
I'm looking for Tanner McKee to dominate. I'm looking for Darius Cooper to dominate. I'm looking for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. to dominate. And then I'm looking for a bunch of depth elsewhere. And I don't know. I mean, second half, I'm just looking to have some pride. All right. I don't care if none of them make the team. I mean, last week was embarrassing. And by the way, you know who else I'm looking for?
Please tell me.
Because I hope this guy shuts John up, speaking of McMullen. Love you, J-Mac, but I hope this guy shuts you up. I hope Cole Payton delivers the goods.
You like
Cole Payton.
That's
John's
your boy.
Into the Wolves. He's like, why did anybody give a rat's ass about Cole Payton? I'm like, dude, what the hell fucking he had a decent first game. He's the only one who moved the ball. Wait, doesn't deserve any credit? So I hope Cole Payton comes out there and has a nice game. All right.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly who I hope. I hope Sean Mannion shows some competency this weekend, getting a first down.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I hope that he could take a bunch of trash cans, manufacture me, and have some answers to be able to look competent. Because last week, Sean, you didn't look competent, kid.
Tough first showing for our boy Sean Filet Mignon.
Yeah,
you're going to be on his ass all year. But again, I say to you, if the offense sucks again, will it be easy? Will we blame Mannion the same way we blamed?
No, you're going to blame Nick for this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
That's right. Because you know what he did?
And you're going to blame Jalen too, to be clear.
He'll be in the mix too because Jalen, if you don't like the play, audible out, kid. Like, where did, like, you're going to look at this hire. If this guy doesn't move the sticks and move the needle, what are those like job sources that you go online and you like plug your resume in? Where did Nick get this guy? Like Resumes Are Us?
What's it
where
called?
You go online?
What's that thing called?
Expedia? What is it? Expedia? Where you go on there? Hey, guess what? I've never been an
I'm unemployable. That's what I tell people. I'm
unemployable. I've never in my life ever been an OC. I've never ever called plays. But hey, I really love the game and I really love Philly. I hope that this clears anything up. Here's my references, and here, if you want an interview, we can Zoom it. Is that on Nick got him the job? Holy shit, he did 7.
Indeed, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
ZipRecruiter and Indeed.
That's where he got these 2 OCs from. ZipRecruiter.
You're telling me Sean Mannion was picked up on ZipRecruiter?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This guy had about 17 different teams. One of them was the
I think Sean's good. I think he's going to be offensively smart.
No,
I think
based on
I don't think he fits. I don't think his background fits when I don't think his background fits what they're trying to run with or the style of play that they have played, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks.
I got an AJ Brown.
Whoa, Rasputin. Task rabbits for McMullen, not for me, dude. Look, I'm mid-build. Oh, I got it blurred back there. Yeah, I got it blurred. I'm mid-build, Sills. That's why I was late again.
I like it, man. I think I could see it coming in there, man. I like it.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be good.
Hey, I got an AJ Brown question for you.
Uh-oh.
How long will the new AJ Brown last in New England?
3 years. 2 years and 3 years is when the rockiness starts because of age. I mean, I don't think.
Or do you think his priorities have changed because he wants a gold jacket and it may last longer?
Well, it'll only last longer if they're still getting him the ball. I mean, he is older, so I wonder how that's going to work in terms of, it is realistic to say he might have dominated joint practice. Like, what type of shelf life does AJ have left? I don't know. Maybe it's longer, but like even Devontae Adams, who in his prime, to me, was better than what AJ was in his prime, you taper off a little bit. That doesn't mean you still can't be a good player, but I think AJ will taper off at some point. Maybe not this year or next year, but maybe the following year. And I think it's more about that than it would end like here. Because here, I think he was still fighting with like I only have so many years of my prime left, and that pissed him off even more. I think when you get to that last spot, you're more like, I'm going down. You know what I mean? I'm not fighting for the same thing. I don't have the same opportunities in front of me the next 4 or 5 years that I did when I was 27. So I think that's a part of it, but it's a good fit for him. It is.
It is.
McDaniels and May with him, it's a good fit. I mean, I think Stephon Diggs is a good football player and was really good when he was in his prime, back one of the better route runners in the league, but I don't think he had any business being a 1,000-yard receiver last year. And he was. Because I think he was in a great system with a great quarterback.
And coordinator.
That's what I meant by system, coordinator.
Yeah.
Now you have AJ, who's, to me, a much better player than Stephon Diggs at this point. I mean, that could look good. But again, statistical outputs are only that. That's all they are. They're statistical outputs. I mean, does their team reach the level of success? Maybe AJ doesn't care. In fact, he probably doesn't care, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't care at all. So we'll see.
You
think 3 years is appropriate?
I do. I think if you look at all the big time wide receivers, Devontae Adams has moved. Tyreek Hill's moved. AJ Brown's moved. The only guys that haven't moved have been Jefferson and Chase and JSN. The rest of them have all moved.
Well, AJ's on team.
Cooper Kupp has moved. They've all moved. I mean,
I thought Armando's take on AJ was interesting yesterday.
yeah.
Clearly thinks he's talented enough to be a
Yeah.
Hall of Fame player.
No, like Antonio Brown is a Hall of Fame player, bro. He's a Hall of Fame football
If they
player.
should. Antonio Brown, to be clear, should 100% be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll put him.
No, because of his.
Can I just say something, man? And I know you're buddies with a lot of Hall of Fame guys, and I don't mean this at all with any disrespect to them. I truly hate, and I don't say hate much. I hate the way
they have a take on Jalen.
The Hall of no. I hate the way the Hall of Fame works.
What do you hate about it? What do you hate about it?
How are you picking? Like, and again, I don't mean this with disrespect to some people, but you're talking about the greatest honor in the game that these guys play and work their whole life for. Many of them, it's their entire personalities, it's their entire businesses, even after they're done the game. And you're getting a writer, like, for example, and I don't like this person, and I don't care to say that on the air. Paul Domowitch is the representative for Philadelphia. Like, yo, Eagle fans, have you ever listened to Paul Domowitch? Fine, good writer, good reporter, whatever. That's who we have representing Philly to put guys in the Hall of Fame?
With a political slant, he does it too.
And you get a bunch of these nerdy dudes that are, again, they're fine to be nerdy, and that's who controls it. I don't mean it with disrespect. I just don't like the process. They're not guilty because the process is the process and they were selected. But to me, the process is really stupid. It's really stupid. Like, why would writers who, by the way, almost always, it's human nature to have a slant. Always. That's why. Why won't Antonio Brown get in? Because they're all slanted. Why would they be in charge of the arbiters of the greatest players to ever play the game? It's stupid. That's stupid to me. I'd rather get a panel of former coaches. I'd rather get a panel of, anybody like that. I mean, who'd you feel better about voting for the Hall of Fame? Domowitch or Dave Wanstead? I don't.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I'm not saying I know the answer to how to fix it, but I'm just off the cuff. I hate the way it's run.
There's a guy in Chicago. I forget his name. I think it's Arash or Kazi, who won't vote for Aaron Rodgers for the Hall of Fame because he was an anti-COVID-19 vaxxer.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is entitled to do what he wants. Is the Hall of Fame now about the everything else? I mean, it's about a football player.
Trent Cole supported.
This is the most obvious one that just happened. Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, do you understand how crazy that is? You obviously do.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Well,
I mean, what are we doing here?
Domowitch said that he would never, ever consider anything for Trent Cole because he supports Donald Trump. Your job is not to give me an opinion on his politics. It's to tell me what you thought of him as a football player. And Trent Cole will go down as one of the greatest.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Well,
on Trent Cole's Twitter, when Trump came to town, he went and saw him.
Yep.
And he said, "What are you doing? You're disrespecting and disgracing the Eagles." And my take was, how dare you tell a guy how to think and how to believe? And you're an NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame voter. That's embarrassing, dude. To put your political view on non-football things too. So you're listen, the process, like not putting T.O. in on the first ballot, was by design.
Yeah.
They didn't want to put him in. Okay.
I don't know what the answer to it is, but.
Well, they're trying to get a mixture now because now they got Warren Moon. Dan Fouts is on that thing. They've got Tony Dungy on it. They're trying to get
Rasmussen says Dungy was against Belichick.
He was.
Well, Rasmussen, maybe that goes to the point of all human beings, me included and you included and everybody else listening included. We're all humans, brother. We all have our slants naturally.
But to be fair to Tony believes that players are a priority over coaches and owners for the Hall of Fame. He told me that.
That's fine. But again, I'm not comparing Bill
Okay,
to
so
other
wait,
players.
let me ask you this.
I'm not. Don't compare Bill to players.
Okay,
compare
well,
Bill to coaches.
How about this? Bill and Tony competed against one another, right? Tony Dungy
coaching,
played with L.C. Greenwood with that steel curtain. He believes that L.C. Greenwood is being disrespected by not being in the Hall of Fame because there's too many Steelers in it. That's what people say.
Right.
So his opinion was this. I think L.C. Greenwood should be in before Bob Kraft. I mean, it may be a wrong philosophy, but it may be disagree to, you know what I mean, to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you're right, though, Z. I think there needs to be a lot of changes in how you pick the Hall of Fame. Like,
so whatever. I don't
Lane
say
Johnson's
to
going to have a
on
tough
people
time.
who are
Lane Johnson's going to have a tough time getting in.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Kelsey will have a better time of it because he's more publicly seen, and that he's on TV all the time. He's on NFL Countdown.
Yeah, and Centers is not as crowded.
That's right. That's right. I do. I believe, and I do listen, and I do think that Lane Johnson's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I have no problem saying that. I don't believe he's better than Jason Peters. But again, we're talking Jason Peters, Trent Williams. Is Lane in that room?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is, like, Tony Baselli was a good player, but I mean,
9 years.
Lane Johnson, that should be. Do you think Lane was better? Is Lane better than Tony Baselli?
Boy, man, Tony was so good. Injuries. He played 9 years. He was the most dominant.
So you think I didn't think that. You think Tony's better? Upside, talent-wise, at their best?
Man, that's so close. Tony is a great player. I know him we've had him on here. Damn, man, is that close? That's a great. How'd you pull that?
What?
How'd you pull that? That's good, man, that you pulled that. Why would you throw Tony Baselli's name out there?
Oh, because we were looking at today talking about AJ, and I pulled up Pro Football Reference does like a Hall of Fame index or something.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was looking at the tackles because I wanted to see where Lane was, and he's like, from an award standpoint, he's like.
I would take Lane probably more than Tony because Lane has a.
Johnny Wilson got waived. Is that right?
Ooh, really? That means they're keeping Elijah. That means they're keeping Elijah, or they're going to make a move.
Wait, I'm not seeing that yet.
Okay. Eagles said.
Wait, Prince might be right though. I trust Prince. He wouldn't. I don't think
he did.
Yeah, they waived him.
Yep.
I see it.
They got a couple other guys.
We've signed center Zeke Corral,
Brandon Hayes, wideout, and
wide receiver Brandon Hayes. Didn't they already get him last year?
Yeah. Johnny Wilson. Wow.
Okay.
Interesting. That's an interesting move. I thought Johnny Wilson had a shot to make the team, but hey. That leads me to this question here, Z. So you say the passing game. Okay. What have they done, in your opinion, in the passing game this offseason to improve it?
Well, I don't think that much. I mean, it's schematic. That's it, right? I mean, who have they really added? That's an add. Wide receiver 3.
Stowers.
Wide receiver 1. Stowers. I mean, I don't think they've done personnel wise anything yet. So I'm not exactly sure about that. But the schematic approach, that's what they're banking on. And the other thing they're banking on is a better run game. If the run game gets better, then in theory, the pass game should get better. Last year they struggled to run the ball, especially early, and then they put them in, the long situations, and they struggled. So in theory, if you can run the ball better, then you'll be able to pass the ball better. So my whole thing has been, and I know that the Eagles need to run to set up the pass. I understand that's the way they're built. That's not what I'm arguing. But at some point, you have to release the clogged toilet. And when they have struggled for multiple years to pass the football, and defenses have stopped paying any attention to it, and then they just stack the box, or they put 8 guys in the middle of the field and they say, go ahead, Eagles, try and beat us outside the numbers, it creates a logjam. And that is what I believe in many ways has happened. Now, that doesn't mean you don't need to run the ball better. You can still run the ball, but that's why I think last year was so tough. You never released. You never popped the pimple. Like you have to open it up. And they never have done it in the pass game to be able to do it. And if they don't do it this year, I think it's going to be similar. The run game might start off good early, but eventually teams are going to adjust. And they're going to look at the game tape and say, all right, let's focus on Saquon. It's not inside zone now, it's outside zone. All right, good. Let's spread the defensive line and the backers and stop Saquon. Keep Jalen clamped to the middle or take away the flats and force them to throw the ball downfield. If they're not proficient throwing the ball to the middle of the field or downfield, I think the same problems will end up happening, even if Saquon's having a good year and the offensive line's having a good year. By the way, this is also why I believe it was not as bad as we thought it was last year. Dude, you pulled up the rankings on the O-line. We talk amongst the fans like that offensive line was legitimately the worst O-line in football. They were like 12th. Like they were good enough. But we never released the logjam, so they were never able to get rhythm and to get movement and get motion in the run game. So, again, the run game has to set up the pass game for the Eagles. But to me, in order to keep things going, in order to stay consistent all year, you are going to have to make defenses pay when they load it up and try and take away Saquon. Boom, you want to load it up? Perfect. I'm going to beat you right down the seam to Dallas Goedert. Get the ball to Mekhi Lemon in space. Do whatever you have to do. You have to make them pay, or else I think the logjam will come back.
Okay, I want to take you back to 2023. You're one of the guys that it's a good debate. You're one of the guys that believes 23 wasn't as bad as people think it was. Correct? For Jalen in the offense.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
And you believe that a lot of the issues on that football team, especially after around week 10, was that the defense started going south, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That year, you were 7th in rushing. Why did the Eagles continue to go high volume in passing when you had a 7th and top 10 ranked rushing attack that would keep defenses, your own included, on the sidelines? Brian Johnson was a first-year situational play caller. That's on him. Not fit. And Nick, wait, let me get this right. Let me throw the ball more to throw more high turnover plays, and the quarterback was doing that, and my defense sucked. But yet I have the 7th best running attack that year in 2023. I'm going to show you where I'm going with this. That, to me, shows you how difficult it is to understand situational play calling with a coordinator who's not been in it before. We see this after the fact.
It's going to be tough for Sean this year to do that.
He couldn't see it in game. You know what I'm saying? How is he going to know what lever to pull?
Yeah, but how can he know? Like, we're going to criticize him because of our expectations, but in a vacuum, no shit. He doesn't know. He's never done it. That's like you don't put someone who's a first time at anything in the highest pressure situation possible and then expect them to succeed.
You think that's why they've got a village that they've hired?
I guess. But again, that to me, that undermines.
Isn't that more voice? But listen, I don't think more voices are better.
I agree. That's what I mean.
I'd rather have more clarity with one guy.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, look at Vic.
More voices helps.
Vic doesn't coordinate by a village, right? He doesn't do that by village. It's all Vic, dude. Would this be a fair comment too, Zander? I'll tell you one thing that I'm starting to learn this offseason about what maybe your passing game is going to be. Do not lose Dallas Goedert or Devontae Smith for any period of time, because you don't have anybody else in that pass game.
Oh, nobody. They're done. If they lose Goedert, they'll be making a big trade at tight end. Yeah, like it's that bad. Howie will not just be like, okay, we got to prevail. He will make.
I'd like the Birds to go get that kid in Arizona.
The dude behind McBride?
No,
or no,
I want
McBride.
McBride.
And what do you plan on trading for him? Do you got an answer?
Would you give Jalix Hunt for him? Best tight end in football.
Well, they take
Ojomo. Ojomo. I like that. Ojomo and Smith.
They're going to have to pay Ojomo, though.
I like that. Ojomo and a pick, Ojomo and Smith. Especially if Hunt pans out. Dude, I think you need another weapon now that I think what we saw with AJ not being on that offense, they're going to need another. You're going to need another bull to run with. I don't think. See, Mekhi Lemon, I think he's going to be a good football player.
Do you?
Yeah, but I don't think a great football player. I think he's going to be a good player.
Lemon drop.
Well, you guys are so spoiled, though. What do you mean? He's not going to be Devontae? No, he's not going to be Devontae.
Well, then the organization should have thought about that before they tried to replace A.J. Brown with him.
I got that.
I hate that comment. John says it all the time. You fans are spoiled. Oh, shut the front door.
I'll tell you what, though, man. Howie has done the drop-off of players that he brings back behind the guys he loses. It's not crazy fall-offs like most organizations go to.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the
fall-offs.
Just to be fair. Way more turnover on defense that they've proven they're good at than they've had on offense. I mean, coming out of 2020,
true,
when they traded for AJ, and that's when the offense got crazy good. I just got to remind everybody, it was pretty ugly at offense. Carson Wentz was throwing to Travis Fulgham and Jalen Reagor his final season. All right, Quez Watkins was a starter. All right. Before that, they really didn't have anybody. They brought in Jordan Matthews. They had Alshon Jeffrey, who was probably the best player that we had. Torrey Smith was a part of our Super Bowl team. We never had receivers like that. 2020 rolls around. They switch regimes in terms of coaching and quarterback. Howie assembles an amazing offense that's really been the same offense the last 4 years. Think about it. They paid them all. They paid Devontae. They paid AJ. They paid Goedert. They paid all the offensive line. They've never had turnover. The defense, it's like you've lost Milton Williams. So you lost Josh Sweat. You lost all of these different players and have been able to make good on it. We haven't seen that turnover yet on offense. And by the way, the only one we've seen so far is what? AJ. And how's the replacement for that looking? Now, offensive line, I'm more confident in because they replaced Kelsey with Juergens, who's been good. They've always been a trench-focused team, and they've always been an offensive line-focused team. But when it comes to skill players, dude, we haven't had skill players like this in a long time. We haven't had a running back like this since Shady McCoy. Yep. We even had a wide receiver like this, like AJ and Devontae together. Since ever, right?
Ever.
And top end since T.O.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about Jeremy Maclin and some of these other dudes. I mean, we've had good players, but come on. So I'm more in wait and see mode. Like, Howie deserves a lot of credit for the way he's built rosters, but turning over the offense is going to be a lot different than turning over the defense. And now you're seeing Jordan and Jalen Carter get paid. Cooper and Quinion are coming up. Bond's already paid. Campbell's going to come down the pike. Makuba might come down the pike. Right now, it looks like there's a massive shift coming to where you're going to have to replenish the offense. And I'm not a big fan of what they've done to replace the first great talent, and that's AJ replaced with Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks.
I'll tell you what, though, Z. 6 years ago, Wentz was your quarterback. Sanders was your running back. Reagor was your wideout. Deshaun Jackson was your wideout. Greg Ward
T.
was
Jackson
your slot was Greg Ward. Your tight end is Ertz. Your other tight end was Dallas Goedert. Jason Peters, Isaac Seumalo, Jason Kelsey, Nate Herbig, and Lane Johnson. The only guy that is on the team as a starter from that opening day game in 2020 is Lane Johnson and Dallas Goedert. I mean, and to my point is how he's transformed that offense inside of 6 years pretty effectively, dude. That's pretty
that was
impressive.
the first build, and most of it was, I mean, all the skill position players outside of Goddard and Smitty were, I guess just AJ and Saquon. But, I mean, that's been the engine.
And the O-line.
And the O-line. But the O-line is what we feel good about because they've been so good there.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. See, the defense, I don't talk much about it because you know why? There's not really much to talk about. Let's go play. Really, you know what?
Let's go play is right.
Here's always my philosophy on how you cover a team. You talk about things that you need to get better at. I think the Eagles right now are in a position on defense where you just got to do this. Let's wind the clock up and go play 60 minutes and see how they are because there's really where do you think if you're I'm not even really concerned about the safety position anymore.
Me neither. You think Cooper has a big year?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know, man. A lot of poontang and weights.
You know how to keep poontang and money coming?
I'm just saying, he looks low out there on those individual reps.
Remember something, Hoss. When you're a gladiator, you're only as good as the last time you're in the arena.
Well, that's what I mean. He looks more like a safety to me.
Okay. Well, maybe they're telling him that's where he's going to play more.
Maybe.
Hey, you think Vic's going to be here longer than 2 years?
I think Vic really likes this unit. Like, if you watch the clips the Eagles will put up, like, he genuinely smiles around the defensive linemen, the linebackers, the Cooper and Q. I mean, he was joking with them when they kept missing. I think he really was enjoying it.
You see what Nick did to him yesterday, Vic Fangio?
No.
You didn't? Came out publicly that Nick Sirianni said that Jonathan Greenard, I haven't ruled him out yet for the opening week of the season. And I was like,
Nick?
That was Nick. Nick put that out there. I haven't ruled out. And then you got Vic the day before going, I don't plan on that guy being here. Hey. And then he got Sirianni going, wait a minute. No, we're not ruling him out for week one. You think there's a little internal small head button that goes on that side of the football? I
think the Eagles hate revealing anything as an organization. That's why they have Bob Lane, the Gestapo. Guy's the biggest Gestapo PR guy in all of pro football.
Oh, he is. It's the worst.
The Eagles love him, though, because that's how they are. So I don't think they like Vic's nature, like the way he is by nature in terms of he just says what's on his mind, but you also live with it because the results are good.
Zander, do you think that Ty Robinson's going to be an impact player this year? Not impact. Do you think he's going to make a contribution this year?
Impact? No.
Contribution,
minimal. If any.
Minimal.
I mean, do you see a contribution coming for him?
I'll tell you what. I hear Vic talking about him a little bit more.
I mean, you were dogging the setup at the beginning of the segment about Moro Ojomo being the 3. I mean, he's the 5.
No, I was just trying to figure out between you two guys if Moro Ojomo's on the bench or if he's like a rotation piece or he's depth. I can't get a straight answer from anybody. I mean, Moro Ojomo is not depth. He's just depth is like the guys behind you. That's depth. Okay? That's depth. Byron Young is depth.
Okay? All right, Sileo.
I mean, Jesus. Moro Ojomo's going to pull Moro Ojomo off the bench and keep Jordan Davis out there? Why would I do that? He's the lesser of the pass. Hey, by the way, question for you. Who's a better football player today on August 21st? Milton Williams or Jordan Davis?
Probably nope.
Who do you think will be a better football player in 2 years? Milton or Jordan?
Probably Jordan.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's Jordan.
Okay.
It's hope. I'll give you it.
By the way, I don't think that that's like this. Look, I don't think that that's Milton Williams is some sort of like mountain of years ahead of him. That's not where I'm at. I just think that guy is a little bit more versatile. You think Will Shipley has a role in this concoction of an offense you're going to have this year?
Nah, not much.
Jesus criminy, where are these playmakers?
Dude, you're fucking reading off a bunch of backups.
Wait,
you just asked me about Ty Robinson
when I heard
Will Shipley, and you're asking for what are you looking for?
Do you know that I heard something today on Birds 365? What? I couldn't believe I heard on Birds 365. They were breaking down the importance of Johnny Munt.
Johnny Munt is a freaking savage, baby.
Johnny Munt. Johnny Munt is
trouble.
Hey, I saw something. I saw something you were doing. I saw something you were doing before you came on. I liked how you had that camera up high, looking down on you.
What do you mean?
I thought you had the camera up high, or you may have been. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it looked good.
A figment of your imagination,
dude. That room is going to be good. It's deep.
This is actually inverse, so the desk is going to be on that side.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can't do it yet. Did you hear my story about FedEx?
No.
Oh, it's a fucking nightmare. So I was building the desk, and it said yesterday the desk comes in like three different boxes, big ass box, heavy as shit, all the stuff you got to build it all. And the frame came, so I get the frame out. You can see it on the ground right there. I'm building it all.
Oh, I'm never doing any of that.
Look, I'm building right now.
Yeah, that's not my wife does that shit in our house.
My wife was sitting in here at this chair reading a book while I was building it. But so the frames came and I'm like, all right, let me build it because the tabletop was out for delivery yesterday. FedEx was supposed to deliver. It said 10 to 2. I'm like, all right, perfect. I'll get the frame done. I'll try and build the desk so that by the end of Sileo or after Sileo, I can finish it up. So it's in it, the checks point for FedEx is like 15 minutes away from me, literally. It hits the checkpoint. I'm like, all right, perfect. It'll be here. Two comes, desk didn't come. I'm like, damn, where is this thing? 4 comes. I'm like, where is this thing? 6 comes. I'm like, damn, I guess it's not coming today. 8 comes, still no desk. I'm like, what the fuck? I go on FedEx at like 10 o'clock last night. Desk is in Thornbury, Ohio. I'm like, what? So it went from 15 minutes away from my house to Thornbury, Ohio.
4 hours.
Longer than that. I'm like, what the hell? Now it's in Chicago. Now it's coming back. And I'm like, of course, they're delivering it, probably next week now. So I can't finish it. I wanted to have it done by the weekend, and get it ready for next week. But I'll have to delay that a little bit and I'll get it done.
Well, let me tell you about this Kia shit in our house. I'll give you a little insight on the Sills house. My wife likes this Kia thing, right? So she goes and she buys all this shit.
What do you mean Kia? IKEA,
sure, okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm not an IKEA fan.
Okay, well, you got to put all
but
this
it's the same shit. You got to build it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she pulls all this stuff out and she goes, you going to help me? I go, absolutely not. I have no patience for anything with screws, lug nuts, or washers. That's not.
You don't like doing it after
absolutely fucking not. I have.
It's a nice release for me because
I have no patience for. Let me put the screw with the washer and going through and no, man. So my wife builds everything.
Morty says winners adapt. Well, Morty, that's how I got all this shit built. Look, I got the bookcase one, the filing cabinet. You can't see it's over here. It's over here.
What's that machine right there? That's in front of you over there. What is that?
What do you mean? That's my computer.
Oh, okay. Thing looks like a brain. I don't do any of that shit. That's not me, man. I said I have. See, here's Big Sills when he's done. Ready? I leave. I go downstairs. I grab a couple Coronas. I have a nice, easy boy with feet that kick up.
I don't get it. You don't do anything? Like all
No.
these years, you've never had to do anything?
No, I don't do anything.
Your wife must go fucking crazy.
She does. She screams at me all the time. She goes, "Why? You don't do shit. You don't." And I go, "Yes, I know. But you knew this when you married me."
Wait, can you teach Abid a lesson? Abid said, Z, get Sills a soundboard, please, for our entertainment.
What's a soundboard?
You know what a soundboard is, but if I gave you a soundboard where we put sound bites on it, would you have any fucking clue how to use that sucker?
I used it for 27 years.
While you're on a show?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Maybe you can. I was thinking more tech stuff, and you would be in the weeds.
As a matter of fact, when I was on the radio, do you know how I would get people to stay longer and how I would fit?
Yeah, I wish we did that more.
Listen to this.
Sound bites are good, man. I should get more of them.
Listen, yeah, but you got to get improvement, though. You got to get improvement.
Well, I'd probably only be able to use, like, I don't know. Because, dude, it's weird. The Eagles are after us. They let other people use sound bites. Every time we do anything, they come right for us. Bob Lang, he doesn't like you, and he doesn't like JAKIB because of me.
Oh, my God. Hey, wait. You know what I used to do, Z? One last thing here, but we'll read some of these supers here. Do you know what I used to do to sneak into how to get, like, Arbitron ratings a little more? I used to go to my own commercial breaks, and I used to control it. I'd be like this. Okay, we're talking about, boom, I'd go to break. And it would carry the guys into the break a little longer. Bro, I was doing 20 shares.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to implement.
Oh, I used
good idea.
I used a soundboard.
He says LFG. All right, Abid, I'll look into it. That means you're gonna have to plug your mic into the soundboard. It's gonna have to be a whole different setup.
But you've got to get clearance from these places to use their bites.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like it used to be in the past where you could just grab random bites like that.
Freaking.
By the way,
guys,
see, tell me this thing here though. If the Eagles put a video up on their X, why can't you use that?
No,
it's public domain.
I know, but they last time I did that, I got a copyright strike. If I get 3 of those, channel's done.
Got it. All right.
So I don't risk it.
Let's read these.
Alvino says Christian Parker's going to cook Mannion. No, he's not. He's a first-time play caller, too. And you were the 31st ranked defense. You got a tougher upswing than we do, Alvino.
Agreed.
So tilt your hat a little higher there in your profile picture. Sit down and shut the F up.
Woo!
Jay the Legend says, we do need another tight end, but I'm not giving up Hunt. Yeah, I'm
for McBride.
Can we give up Nolan and Greenard? I want to keep on. I think Hunt's going to be the future edge. Bootleg says, luckily we need some good draft. We have some good draft picks. Wide receiver 1 needed.
Hang in for Levin there.
I don't know what these draft picks are right now.
Let's see.
All right. Here's David Selva. If there's anything we've seen in the preseason game so far, every team is using 2 tight ends and for blocking in the pass game. Texans, Raiders, Rams, Chargers. Yeah.
I've seen that. Max protection. I've seen that too. I have. Yep.
All right, that's all of them.
Big Z, go back to painting and fixing and screwing things in. And
I'm going to listen to the National Football Show with Mike North on there, and I'm going to get back to work.
Hey, did you see what Mike North was doing the last couple of days? He's been in his car. He's been going around the Chicago area looking for like good sites for a good stadium.
To build a stadium, I love it.
Yeah, he was in his car and he was checking out.
I think Mike is just as mad about wearing the headsets as you are because, Mike, it's been 2 weeks since we've had to wear headsets. And it's literally every show before it starts. Sileo's got to give me the stink face, put on his earphones. Oh, my God. Dude, put on the earphones. They're earphones. It's not that big of a deal.
Damn, see? Somebody's calling you out here, man. Pull the hat down lower. Hairline.
Oh, yeah, I'm shaving it off soon. It'll be off in, I don't know, a couple months. Who cares? It's hair. You know what? It's hair.
Hey, Mike, we're going to bring you up here.
I'm sorry you're so attached to your head of hair, Alvino.
I'll tell you one thing's for sure. When you get married like Z is now, and that credit card becomes like a hot pancake, you lose your hair, don't you, bro?
Pancake. That thing is a burnt piece of toast.
Bro,
all right,
hey, real quick before you go, are you doing something on Saturday?
Yeah, we're doing pre and post, but
All
not
right.
long. Just preview and after.
Gotcha, bro. Have a great one. I'll be watching. Thank you so much, dude.
All
Love
right.
you, man.
Love you.
Gotcha, man.